I'll start talking real quick. Free and serious. I've had enough. I've had enough. I have had enough of a closed door deal that gives billions of dollars to drug companies when we're told that we can't do a thing, uninsured, and the millions more who can't pay their medical bills. I've had enough.
Peace. This is Brother Tim. I have to apologize to y'all because I wasn't. I'm getting old. I'm enjoying it, and I couldn't get out to do my Freestyle Friday. And I know 'cause the thing was hot around midnight, and I got some nice around midnight cuts that I was gonna play. So I apologize to y'all, but I'm coming to you live and direct. I'm sitting here with Monitor Dentista of Unidade Capoeira, and I'm going to interview him because he's an interesting brother because he's been um, making a living doing several different things. Capoeira, one of them, but he got other things that he's interested in. It's going to be a very interesting talk. So first, I'm going to let Brother Dentista introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
Not that interesting. Like you said, monitor is like my title in capoeira. For those who don't know, capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial art that goes back 400 years. It came from Africa, usually that's the Angola area, and then it evolved in Brazil with the indigenous Indians and the African slaves that went there. Because a lot of people don't know, we didn't come straight to the fields of like the southern United States. Like we had to go the Middle Passage to like Rio and Salvador, and then up through Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, and all those places like that. Eventually, we got to the southern cotton fields, but the Middle Passage was millions of us coming over. But with capoeira, is they use the capoeira to escape, from their oppression and everything, and we still teach it today. Like the system that I use is from a city in Brazil called Santos. So the Sanchista system is our capoeira. It's kind of an older capoeira with, not so much flips and twirls, but more about, the actual street fighter capoeira. Like our association here in the U.S. it's called ASCABI, which is Associação Santista Capoeira Gearea Branca. In the U.S., it's called the American Society for Capoeira and the Arts of Brazil, and it's based out of Philadelphia under Mestre Doutor. Mestre means master in Brazilian Portuguese, because that was the language that the slave masters and the overseers would use, and so the different African tribes had to learn a unified language in order to talk to the masters or be told by the masters. So when we capoeira in itself is the circle of people. We call it the roda. Roda literally means wheel, but it refers to the circle of people. In capoeira, the terminology is a coded language. So you would say one thing and it would mean a few other things, and only the people who would know how to decode the code would know what you're talking about. So when we say roda, we're talking about not a wheel, but a circle of people. And then there's singing and clapping and other African instruments, because that's part of the African tradition. Music is in our work, music is in our life and everything we do. It's part of us. So there should be no separating the two.
So how did you get started in capoeira? Give us a picture of your journey and why, out of all the martial arts in the world, why did you choose capoeira?
When I first started the martial arts, I was like 8 years old, Capoeira came way later. I started like traditionally, like a lot of people do, with wrestling, boxing, karate, taekwondo, and kung fu. I stayed in kung fu for maybe 6, 7 years, but after a while, you start getting higher in rank, and you start looking around at the other masters, and you don't see a reflection of yourself. You see, brothers out there wearing, silk pajamas and like karate belts, having the same mannerism as like somebody from China or Korea or whatever. That's not a reflection of me. There's nothing wrong with it if that gives you solace, if that makes you comfortable, and like they do what they advertise. But for me, if I'm teaching other people, I'd like to be able to give them a reflection of where our people came from. And you can't tell me that, all the centuries we've been on this planet, that we didn't have warriors, that we didn't have a means of defending ourselves, a way to fight ourselves, for ourselves. So I started looking for that stuff. Ultimately, I actually found hundreds of African and African-based diaspora martial arts throughout, Africa and South America. The only problem was with still finding somebody young enough to teach, somebody close enough to teach, and then somebody willing to teach. Ultimately, I ended up finding Jailhouse Rock, Nuba Wrestling, and Capoeira were like close to where I was living at the time. And then I contacted the Jailhouse Rock guys, and they never called back. Right? So it was like just kind of got my face kind of snubbed. So I ended up doing a Capoeira instead. That's taking that.
All right, now, as far as martial arts, how would you? Well, because we both know that it ain't necessarily the art that is better. It's usually the heart of the person that participates. But how does capoeira help a person from your experience in their personal development? Because a lot of people think that martial arts is just about breaking boards or kicking asses, and because you can't cuss on my show, this is my show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's just about kicking asses. What other parts about capoeira are attractive to some of the people out there who might be looking for something to plug into?
What I found originally in other martial arts is that you hit a wall after a certain level because either the culture you don't like, or you can't really connect to, or the teacher doesn't know it and he doesn't teach it to anyone else. So you end up feeling left out, or you can't go any further. But with capoeira, you always have the culture like going alongside your training. So no matter how far you go, you realize there's still so much more to learn. And it's not like other martial arts where in 2, 3 years you get a black belt and now you call yourself master or such and such. In capoeira, you have to have a minimum of 17 years in before they even consider you a master. You have to be at least 35 years of age before they consider you a master. You have to have done stuff for the community of capoeira before they consider you a master. And like you have to put in the work that to in order to get something out of it. You can't just like, oh, I paid my dues, like my actual fees, and now I'm self-master. You have to have the experience, and the experience accounts for like 95% of capoeira. You have to play. We don't call it fight, we call it play, because that's the old tradition. We play with sticks, we play with feet, we play with elbows, we play what we have to play with, and learning how to be relaxed. But for somebody who's trying to like find their way in life, it's a family, and we emphasize community, and not just potlucks and whatever. Like parents beat each other's kids, just to make sure that they understand that your parent is in charge. Like in our academy, we make sure that the parent keeps the strength in their family, and that the kid understand like you have your role to play as a child. You're not in charge. Not until you can pay your own bills or however it is. We look out for each other. It is collective. There's no individual necessarily. Um, and and sometimes we have students or adults where that there's some fucked up shit in their life. So we kind of give them that shoulder to cry on, or that a space to vent. Sometimes we have people coming in from a hard day at work and all they want to do is smash their boss's face. We say, put that no hard in. Let's just fight it out. Some of us might, get kicked in the head, get kicked in the face, and then we go have a drink afterwards, and you feel better. You feel connected. You are part of a larger family. And the Ascabi family is international. Right now they're having their bachillerato. A bachillerato is a graduation ceremony in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. So good luck to everybody. You are going to need it. Our master kicks hard, um, and just keep trying. That's what it's about. It's not about how great you can be. It's about how much effort you can put into a task.
There's a concept of ashe in capoeira. You let's talk a little bit about ashe. First off, what is it? Because in different cultures and traditions, I hear the word ashe being used. In capoeira, what is this thing that is described as ashe?
Ashe is let's see. Ashe is chi, prana, ki, and all the stuff, but it's more than energy. It is the personification, the life of the energy. It comes from the Ifa tradition. If you don't know old Yoruban religion, you probably should stop using Ashe and go read a little bit, and then come back to Ashe. Like Ashe is a living force. It is not just just energy itself. It is the consciousness of the energy, and it's usually positive. But you can call for bad Ashe too. But we don't want to do bad Ashe.
We don't want to do bad Ashe. And to keep it moving, I'm gonna throw on some Fela for y'all real quick. Water, get enemy. I love Fela. You talk about Ashe. And talking about the Yoruba tradition, this brother is from Nigeria. So let's go and throw this down. Y'all go and enjoy this piece.
you want go wash, now water you go use. To ba fe se be omi lo ma lo. If you want cook soup, now water you go use. Tori bangbo na omi le rore o. If your head is hot, now water go cool 'em. Tomo banda gba omi lo ma lo. If your child dey grow, water him go use. If water kill your child, now water you go use. To me back mama when omi no lo ma lo. Ko sohun to le ṣe ko ma lo mi o. Nothing without water. Ko sohun to le ṣe ko ma lo mi o. They talk of black man power. Water. You don't get enemy. They talk of black power. I say. Water. I say. You don't get enemy. I say water no get enemy. Water. You don't get enemy. If you fight them unless you won't die. Water. You don't get enemy. I say water no get enemy. Water. You don't get enemy. I say water no get enemy. Omi you love ta o. You don't get enemy. Omi you love ta o. You don't get enemy.
Fella keeps it hot. Now, hey, so before we move on to some of the other ventures that you're involved in, there's another thing about capoeira I want to ask about. Could you explain to the crowd how you got the name Dentista, please?
Dentista, it means dentist. That's Portuguese for dentist. I got the name playing in capoeira. It was like a real hot and heavy game, a lot of kicks and my opponent did a blind turn, so he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing, and so I just kind of intercepted what he was turning and then kicked him in the mouth and removed his front teeth. So at the moment I kicked him in the mouth and he spit his teeth out, he literally spit them into his hands, and then all the masters around started yelling, Dentista, and I got the name that way. So, and then since then I kicked a few other people in the mouth and the teeth got loose. Capoeira is, as the master said, capoeira é muito perigoso, like very dangerous. It's not all flips and twirls like you see in demos and in movies. And you have seen capoeira in movies, you've seen it in commercials, and you might have thought it was, breakdance fighting. Like McDonald's had a commercial, there's been some overseas commercials. It's like Catwoman was doing like her version of that god awful movie, capoeira, Only the Strong. Movie The Quest that had was it Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. A couple of the blood sport movies had capoeira in it, and then The Protector with Tony Jaa had one of the major bad guys in the water fight scene was doing capoeira. Actually, no, they got I'm too proud. He's a second level professor, which means teacher for those out there. That's all I got.
So now, why don't you talk to us about some of the other ventures? You was talking to me about Linux and why it's important for open source, and kind of like you adapted the open source outlook in your life, not just with the computers, but with the other ventures that you're in, including Capoeira. How does this open source thing work for computers as well as in your life? Open source idea.
Yeah, so what open source is that humanity, essentially you own the technology. It is shared, it's free, it's for anybody to use. You don't pay a license for this and that. The only difference is and you're allowed to change the program to suit your needs as far as technology goes. The only thing is you have to share it. You can't hold it for yourself and then not share it, because that's the whole idea. There's a movement during the mid 80s or so called free software, the free software movement, which predated open source, but free software was more an ideology that went along with we need to help each other out. We need to be an actual community, a planetary community, not just black people, not just white people, not just any singular race, but just humanity. So engineers who love to code, who like programs, they would get together, they would write programs, and sometimes the programs would help each other out or for a specific task. And eventually things grow. The more people work together, the larger the community becomes. With the Linux, which was created by Linus Torvald, he was from, I think he's Finnish, from Finland, which is one of those countries we don't really learn about in the United States, one of the neutral nations. He's a genius, and his kernel, a computer kernel basically tells the computer what software to bring up next. It's like the commander. So his kernel helped the new project, which is new like the animal GNU, which was part of the free software movement. And they created an operating system for people to use. We all know Windows, we all know Apple. What you don't know is Linux. Some of you may know. Where you pay for Windows, where you pay for Apple, you don't pay for Linux. You can download it for free. Is it just as good? Yes. Out of the 500 supercomputers on the planet, almost all of them use Linux. That's high-end stuff. That's scientific level stuff.
All right, I don't mean to interrupt, but why, out of all of the software possible in the world, why Linux?
Linux is stable. Linux is it is small, so your computer doesn't have to like use a lot of resource, burning up your memory, use up hard drive space. It's as I said, it was stable. You can't get a Windows virus on Linux. And it's based off of Minix, which is based off of Unix. Minix means Unix. Unix was back when IBM ran the planet, and it's used for servers. If you're using Windows, it's most likely you're connected to a Linux server to hop online. Like right now, you'll probably be hooked into a Linux server. Like 95% of the servers that make up the World Wide Web are on Linux. Right now, people don't trust it because it's not in the everyday market. It's on the enterprise side. So companies and corporations, use Linux. So what I'm trying to do is help out, the Ubuntu Linux community, and there is a large one here in Columbus. You can look up. They call them locals, which are like local organizations, and they put up festivals every year. I think the last one was like this past September, down at the Nationwide Arena, and they're trying to get it to where it is in your house, like just like Windows. If I say Windows, everybody knows what Windows is. I say Ubuntu Linux or just Linux in general, because there are different distros or distributions. Those distributions are derivatives of different types of Linux, and then they come about for for whatever your need is. I personally would say for beginners, I would say something to use Ubuntu Linux because it's the prettiest, it's the easiest to use, in my opinion. And what I'm trying to do now is to just help people become more familiar with the software. Open source software is free. It's free downloads, free upgrades for life. And so long as your hardware and your computer can handle it.
All right, so now, and let's move on to the coffee piece now, because I know you're doing coffee, and you want to talk about the coffee because you've seen me drinking some of my daily stuff, and you called it black mud. Y'all better leave my goddamn coffee alone. But I understand you sell some good coffee, and tell us about that project as well. And then also to end up all the projects, make sure you put over here how people can get in contact with you. I'll also send it out, but put on here how people can get in contact with you if they're interested in some of the stuff, from the academy to the software to the coffee, and you got 2 other ventures I think as well.
Yes, it can. The coffee is like my like my personal addiction and passion. The coffee is roasted each week. It's not like we roast it all and then let it sit on the shelf. Your batch will be fresh. It's called Lena Bean Coffee. I named it after my daughter. And the one that sells the most is the Brazilian bourbon coffee. It's a medium roast. The misconception about coffee: the darker it is, the stronger it is. That's actually wrong.
Right.
Like the darker your coffee is, the more burnt the bean has been.
Man, leave my dark shit alone, man.
I'm serious. Like the coffee, like light roast will give you the most caffeine.
That's true.
And will give you the jitters. A medium roast is actually what you want to have, because that's that kick you need, and it's not as bitter. Like the bitterness is the acid being released.
Man, I like my coffee like my women, dark and experienced.
Yeah, that to me that just sounds like bitterness.
Wow.
but with the Lena Bean coffee, like I do fundraisers with it. Like we use it to bring out our capoeira masters from like Brazil. We do we do tastings where we'll put together 5 or 6 different types of coffee and then see who likes what. I also have like some Ethiopian, some Rwandan coffee, some Indian coffee, some South American coffee, like from Costa Rica, Colombia, Peru, and that's about it. A couple of my other ventures that he was talking about earlier is I'm doing some experimentation with aquaponics and other renewable sources of energy, where we don't have to burn fossil fuels and stuff like that. I really do believe in getting humanity to a Type 1 status. And what Type 1 status is, a planetary status where we no longer use the resources of the planet we live on, but we use the ones from like the solar system, stuff like that. There's a doctor, a physicist named Dr. Michio Kaku, who put together like this scale of sentient life forms, and right now humanity ranks 0 on that scale. And so my little bit is to help move us forward. So doing different stuff.
Now to get to the highest point on that scale, we're gonna have to be harnessing direct energy from the sun, right?
Actually,
I ain't talking about those rays. I'm talking about we're gonna build something right here. I mean, you seen the shit that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just saying. That's some hard shit to do.
According to his scale, the highest level is like a level 4 like race, where it's like where you are living energy. You're no longer corporeal. You no longer have a body. You're just like consciousness only. That's his highest level.
Can you have sex at that level?
Probably yes, but differently.
All right, cool. I mean, on that one, I'm going to some music because I want to be spiritual and stuff, but I still love my body. You know what I'm saying? We on the journey. We love our body.
That would still be levels 2 and 3.
Right. And but I am with you on far as moving into some of that stuff. That's another reason. Speaking of that, there's a jazz set going on over at New Harvest tonight at 8:30. And the reason I'm mentioning it while you here right now is because he's into urban gardening. He's also interested in that too. So that'll be a good contact for you to make tonight. But any of those out there, y'all need to come out. But just to let you know, one about the my brother's business venture as far as Lena Bean Coffee, Ubuntu Linux, as well as Unidade Capoeira. This song is dedicated to all those out there who might have questions or doubts about some of the stuff going on. So if you would, take a listen.
Friends.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke. When I'm gone, no one gets on, cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I set. I like to stand in the crowd and watch the people wonder, damn. But think about it, then you understand. I'm just an addict, addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit, I gotta use it. Even if it's jazz or the quiet storm, I hook a beat up, convert it into hip-hop form. Write a rhyme and graffiti in every show you see me in. Deep concentration, cause I'm no comedian. Jokers are wild, if you wanna be tame. I treat you like a child and you're gonna be named another enemy, not even a friend of me. Cause you'll get fried in the end when you pretend to be competing. Cause I just put your mind on pause and I complete when you compare my rhyme with yours. I wake you up and as I stare in your face, you seem stunned. Remember me, the one you got your idea from. But soon you start to suffer, the tune get rougher. When you start to stutter, that's when you had enough of. Biting it'll make you choke, you can't provoke, you can't cope. You should've broke because I ain't no joke.
So, I mean, like, what would happen to all the operating system on the computer now? Just throw it all out.
I got a question, as serious as cancer. Who can keep the average dancer hyper as a heart attack? Nobody smiling, cause you're expressing the rhyme that I'm styling. This is what we all sit down to write. You can't make it, so you take it home, break it and bite. Use pieces and bits of all my hip-hop hits. Get the style down packed, then it's time to switch. Put my tape on pause and add some more of yours. Then you figure you're ready for the neighborhood chores. So EMC, don't even try to be. You come up to speed, don't even lie to me. You like to exaggerate, dream and imaginate, then change the rhyme around that can aggravate me. So when you see me come up, freeze, or you'll be one of those 7 MCs. They think that I'm a new jack, but only if they knew that. They who think wrong, or they who can't do that style that I'm doing, they might ruin patterns and paragraphs based on you and your off-beat DJ. If anything he play sound familiar, I'll wait to say play him. So I'ma have to diss. Who broke, you can get a smack for this. I ain't no joke.
You came back? Yeah.
I hold the microphone like a grudge. Be a whole record so the needle don't budge. I hold a of conversation, cause what I invent, I nominated my DJ the president. When I'm y'all, keep a freestyle going steadily. So pucker up and whistle my melody. But whatever you do, don't miss one. There'll be another rough rhyme after this one. Before you know it, you're following and fiending, waiting for the punchline to get the meaning. Like before, the moral of my story I'm telling. Nobody beats the art, so stop yelling. Save it, put it in your pocket for later. Cause I'm moving the crowd and be a record fader. No interruptions till the mic is broke. When I'm done, then you can joke. Cause everything is real on a serious tip. Keep playing, and I get furious quick. And I take it for a walk through hell. Freeze your dome, then watch your eyeballs swell. Guide you out of triple stage darkness. When it get dark again, then I'ma spark this microphone. Cause the heat is on. You see smoke and the finish when the beat is gone. I'm no joke, no joke, no joke.
I ain't no joke, Egg being Rakim. Also for all those out there that's trying to challenge Unidaji as well as some of the other ventures that's popping off. Realize and remember. Now, he done talked me into converting to Linux, and I can't help but to wonder if it's going to hurt. So, you know, I will be checking in and letting you know how the procedure works out and things like that. But I want to get his Linux to try anything because I like open source. Those of you that use Android, that's open source, and a lot of those programs come from people building off of other people's ideas. As a matter of fact, I seen a TED special where they was talking about Steve Jobs, how Steve Jobs was at the beginning of his career, he was all up on building off of other people's shit, but when people start building off his, he lost his mind. You know what I'm saying? We get stingy when we become exactly when we start focusing on that money. But I'm one that believes that if you do what you love, the money will follow. It might not come as fast as you want, but it eventually will come. Do you have any last words before I take them out on this song?
Just thank you for having me on the show, and I look forward to being on here again. And I hope people give free enterprise an idea, not an idea, but give it a try. That kind of idea of helping each other out. That's about it.
And there is no time and no place for your reason. Junkies watch your thoughts, they manifest activities of your thinking. And we thank you for being a part of my life. Them I wonder how we do this, them grow with hate and hunger. Fit your profit, but as my locks get longer, hidden heart it a twist. No spread no propaganda, cause you can't stop this. Now them a ponder how the ghetto youth just live, them grow with hate and hunger. With the profits, but as we locks get longer, hidden heart it on it. We no beg no fee, no sponsor, so no can't stop this. Just say no abomination, so me no business. I hold this off every nation. This you have to do, no man no better than ya. And now we are runs a crew. Gonna come in on 2002. They stand against you and hating me. Them just can't go through, them heart not clean nor free. I remind them so much of who they are supposed to be. I'm a royalty, them lost them identity. Now them a wonder how we do this, them growing hate and hunger. Fit our profits, but as we locks get longer, hidden heart it a twist. No spread no propaganda, cause you can't stop this. Every man for their own. The fact remains is shall wear the crown. Ooh, get off your pumps and pride step down. You have I, this is the Rasta man. This is the Rasta man sound. We are immune to criticism. We know not grudge, we face the challenge and harness the power of love. Now I see you want us to be like a rogue. That's where we can be saturated with all the mud. But now them I wonder how we do this and grow hate and hunger. Fit your
profits, but as we locks get longer, hidden heart it a twist. The spread no propaganda, can you can't stop. Yo, them all a ponder, how the youths are slick. They come with all them hunger. Fist stop it, but as we locks get longer, hidden heart it a twist. Now beg no finger sponsor, so no can't stop. It is the portion of life, most natural it is nature. And if you know right, me say you can't stay about ya. Free yourself and just step over. If you had known your roots, you would be in tune with nature. What are we doing? It's just true. Life was taught we the very things we do. It was ordained for me and you. You have lost your ways, now you don't have a clue. Now them I wonder how we do this, them do with hate and hunger. Future profits, but as them locks get longer, hidden heart it a twist. No spread no propaganda, cause you can't stand this. The whole of them a ponder how the Rasta man so slick. Them grow with hate and hunger. Fist of it, but as them locks get longer, hidden heart them a twist. No spread no propaganda, cause you can't stall. Just say no abomination, some in a business. How this is for each and everyone. This you have to do, no man no better than Jah. And now we are on Jah crew. Wanna come in on 2002s. They stand against you, hating me. Just can't go to because them little out no free. I remind them so much of who they are supposed to be. I'm a royalty, them lost them identity. Now the whole of them I wonder how we do it. Them lose them, come with them hunger. Future profit, but as we locks get longer, them heart it.
I'd like to thank you for being on the journey with me. We're gone. I'm out of time. So remember, check out the journey. And I'm going to do the Freestyle Friday for y'all again. And if you want to come out, feel free to come out and join me. I'm going to be out tonight over at the New Harvest and listening to the jazz. And then also, I got to send shouts out to those things that I love and support. Orange 82 for giving me my intro exit music. Also, Oxy Water, world's first flavored oxygen enhanced mineral water. All right, with that, I say peace.